Today we will talk about fractions. Let's learn how to enter fractions and mixed numbers in a scientific calculator. In this particular calculator, you have this fraction bar right up under the absolute value sign. In some other calculators, you'll have something called an ABC button. It will look like an A and space B/C. But the procedure is very similar. In this calculator, you push the button and then you will get some kind of fraction with numbers to be filled in. Let's say I would like to enter 1/2. You go 1, and then you go down with the arrow 2. Okay? Here's 1/2. How about 5/3? The same way. Enter 5, down 3. Now, if I want to enter 2 1/3, this is how you do it. This time you have to push Shift key so that you have the mixed numbers. So you go 2 and then go up 1. Oops. Let's go back here. All right, let me do this again. Shift 2. I push the right arrow to go to the numerator. 1. I push the down arrow to go to the denominator. 3. 2 1/3. Now, let's look at how we go back and forth between improper fractions and mixed numbers. When I go 2 1/3, here's a mixed number. When you push the equal sign, look what happens. I get the improper fraction. Now, to go back, do you see this button, ST? In some other calculators, it's a fraction button, FRAC, and you just push that. I'll push this one. You go back to the mixed number. And then when you push this button, you can also go to the decimal. We'll learn how to do that later on. But to go back and forth between the improper, you use the second Shift SD. Shift SD. Okay? Now, if I want to simplify fractions, let's say 6/12, I enter the fraction as is 6/12. And what happens? Look what happens when I push equal. And this is pretty much how it is in most calculators. So it will automatically simplify it. Let's say I want to do some simple operations, 2/3 times 3/5. The way you enter it is 2/3, 2/3, times 3/5. And then go back to the fraction, 3, 5. And you know that the 3's will simplify. And now let's push the equal button. And you get 2/5, and that's the correct answer. Your calculator will simplify it. How about doing a division problem? Same way. 2/3 divided by, this time, oops, you have to make sure that you are, oops, let's do it again. 2/3, 2, 3. Make sure you go to the right so that you push it right after the fraction. Divided by 2/5. 2/5. I go to the right, equals 5/3. Now let's try something with a mixed number. 2 1/4 times 5. 2. Let's go to the mixed number area. 2 1/4. 1. Down arrow, 4. Right arrow times 5 equals And you see 45/4. And now if I want to go back to mixed number, remember what you do, second SD, and then you're going to get the mixed number notation. Now, if I want to take the like square roots or cubes and things like this, it's done the same way. Make sure you put parentheses around the fraction. So watch. I can either enter 1 divided by 2 and then to the button right here, and in some calculators y to the x, x to the y button, 3 equals, see, it gets it. You can do the same thing with this one. Put parentheses, watch, and I'll put 1. I'm using the fraction button now, 1/2. Go to the right, make sure this cursor is outside, just at the same level as your fraction. Close it. Now to the, this time I'll do 3 and 1/8. If I want to take the square root, go to square root button. You can go to the fraction and say the square root button if you want. Go 1, down arrow, 9. Now, to get out of this, you have to go right arrow equals 1/3. Or you can take a cube root. Cube root is right here. Most calculators do have it. And you're going to go, okay, I'm going to go take the second cube root. Now I need to put the 3 in there to indicate that it is a cube root. To get inside, right arrow. Now I need to enter a fraction. How? Here's the fraction button, 1 divided by 27. Now I need to get out of this mode, right arrow to get out equals 1/3. Now, remember, you can store things in your calculator. Now, if you go like up arrow, do you see it? All these things that we did has been actually stored. So that's called answer memory. So it's actually in there. Okay, for example, if I want to take 1/8 and then multiply by 5, all I have to do is just go multiply 5 and it will do it. Now if I want to put this like 5/3 in an independent memory with the M+ button, what you need to do is just say I want to store this thing, and in most calculators it's like that, and now push M+. You see the answer is stored in M. Now it's all in there. So if I want to take, let's get rid of this. Now 5/3 it's in M. If I want to recall it, recall M. And then here it is. And I can multiply it by 2, for example. And 10/3. So you can have different versions of the same idea.